Good morning. My name is Cynthia Green. Welcome to my end of May. It's going to be half a year next month. Half the year is gone. On to the next half. Isn't that amazing how life proceeds? Whether we get to choose what we get to do, obtain, or be in our life. I am in the process of delineating or creating a structure, how to do my YouTube live in my next lives that I will be doing the next half of the year. I would like to take a word like the word shell or kingdom, or I've been doing the word choosing or choices because I think it is important to understand our choices. Sometimes we think that we are making them, but in reality, we are forced to do things not by our choice. So we think that choosing our things that we're doing in reality are stemming from fears, from thinking that we're stuck and we're never ever going to get anywhere in life. Yet God says, "Behold, I have made a new day. Can you not perceive it?" Perception is something that is in us that we, for lack of preparation, I think we perceive a thing through other people's lenses, my glasses. We are attracted to their concept and we desire the same outcome, so we adopt that choice that they have. In comparison in life, we're not perceiving this day as new. God says in His Word, choose you this day. Why does He say choose you? Our values that we're learning in our life, the integrity that we acquire, creating the character in our lives, these are important. They are formed by our choices. If we stand by our truth, I say if because our truths shift with a belief level that we have. Sometimes we place limitations and on outcomes, especially in our life. We think that we don't deserve, we didn't work hard enough, we didn't dream long enough, we didn't study long enough. Yet all these are shelves that we place the outcome that we would love to have, and we shelve them in little boxes. Sometimes they're messy in the boxes, and sometimes they're very orderly. And you know where that orderly or the messy, the effort came from? Us trying to be busy in our lives, trying to look the other way, instead of facing the fear that comes with doing something new, or thoughts that say, you can do this. Just take one step at a time. I'm sounding a little, I apologize. I like it when my light is lighter. It's so dark on this side. But I'll be working on my lighting next and the position of my camera. But for now, I'm practicing on my timing. The content has been the same on purpose. I linger, wondering why am I lingering on choosing? Because I myself need to study the process, the idea of choice in my life. I need to learn how to create content, opportunity, how to open my eyes, things that I don't know anything about, and how to expose them on purpose. Doing new things creates or going someplace new, seeing new things, even online, helps your perception to realize hey, there are some amazing things out there that I can pursue and learn and acknowledge and apply in my life. One of the things that I have recently been doing is collecting rock and looking at rock, what kind of rock they are. I really don't want to study geology, but that is the study of rocks. It's just a hobby for now. So, analytical overthinking, if you want to do something going in that direction, like I decided to do a part time work from home, and I thought, well, I am going to study how to present an idea online and see if I can even create content. And so on purpose, I stayed on choosing. A lot of people think, well, why are you staying on choosing so long? Creating opportunity in life is the same. We see things what we believe to be. Say that again. We believe things the way we believe them to be. Not as they are, not as they should be, but what we believe them to be. So we're to behold, holding something in light or reflection, thinking about it. That does take time. That does take choosing on purpose. On purpose today in life, that is what God says. I have created you for a reason. I have created thoughts for a reason. I have created a how to book for a reason. I have placed in you dreams and desires. I have placed around you people to help you navigate through life. And I have taught you to seek. That's what God says. I have taught you to look and hear and seek by what? A desire. We see something beautiful, like, let's say, a red car, or a blue, or a green, and we dream about it and we figure out ways how to accomplish that, how to get it in our possession. It's from a desire. Oh, I think I can get that. Or there's a side thing. We have to get a driver's license. We have to learn how to negotiate on insurance, on payments. These are side things, the process of getting that. And so we learn first by our sight by hearing and seeing. Oh, that looks so good. Go to Amazon, go to Google. Where is it? But our choices, most of the time, we think we have none. And that is sad when we can, on purpose, create new opportunities in our lives. I have recently um, started doing my dream list and goal. I do it on pencil first. It's half a year vision boarding. It is to delineate or outline my goal. My goal for the year was to create a digital online presence. And so now that I have done the preliminary study, if I'm comfortable, am I getting comfortable doing presentations? Am I comfortable in the timelines that I'm creating? Am I comfortable enough to venture into other areas and how I can stagger them and do reels and stuff, even shorter or one line sentences. These are actually like not necessarily um, what am I trying to say? Dreams. I feel dreams are actually overused for people to disregard after setting them out. Um, I recently thought of a word. I used to say life goals or implementing life into your daily living or creating a love journey. These are some of the ideas that I think of to make myself come up with how am I, because it's hard for me to sit down and think. I am more of a like writing words down, much of a vision picture. I have a hard time with that. So I created both on my little outline of a vision board. The next thing will be to write so it can be compact where I can see it every day. I want one that I can memorize by seeing morning and night. Right now, I don't have that habit because I recently moved and I haven't had one. And so, this color red, it's to energize, to influence color back in my life. I tend to be bland, white, and I did my nails, uh, the neutral tones. I am reflecting on neutrality with myself because on purpose, my choices that I would like to focus on is the target market. And it's hard for me to do a target market because I'd rather encompass the whole picture, everybody. That's a lazy way of not thinking and just doing. And so, in order for me to create one for myself, choosing on purpose with intentionality, I have to create the environment. There was a book out by, here it is, Indistractable by Nir Eyal. And the one before that, Willpower is Not Enough by another author. So, what are these on purpose creating in your life? You have to surround yourself. So one of the things I'm doing is believing. Because first you have to believe that you have it. Then it will you will have it. Kind of what Think and Grow Rich Napoleon Hill talks about. So what are my beliefs? I've had to look at the outcomes that I've had in the last I just turned 65 this month. The year that I'm supposed to retire, but Biden advanced by 2 more years. So I upped it myself to 5. I have to create longevity in my physical well being, so I have to incorporate exercise. Now that I'm running, I can run without feeling overwhelmed in my head from the head injury I had. So now I can start implementing that. But I've recently moved to a hot location and I have to gauge my water intake. My lips got really dry the other day and I thought I'm not drinking enough water. And so in my training, because of that goal in mind, along with my digital creation, along with learning where everything is in that new place and learning about the new job, how what do I do? So, in the next 6 months that I'll be doing, I will learn to structure, learning to do the framework of choice, the word choice, for the next 6 months. It'll be a year I'll be doing choosing. Because are we really choosing in life? A lot of our fears are choosing for us. A lot of our limitations are choosing for us. I was listening to Mr. Steve Harvey the other day. He said, when you ask God, make sure your address is on Faith Avenue. I thought that was so neat. Not on, I don't know how it will get here, Avenue, or I doubt it will, Avenue, or that I believe that's not for me, Avenue. Because once you ask God, He sends it on the way right away. But you have to stay on Faith Avenue. Who, who knows if it's coming from another country? It might take a month to get where you are, or it might be down the street and the mail person lost the package and it stayed in the back room until somebody stumbles upon it when they took the bin out and this was a month ago. So things do happen. And what he was saying is you have to be faithful of your inner being has to stand by the choice you made and not start waving because of the length of time you're waiting. Or somebody else might say, oh, really? That's not for you, really? And so you start doubting and start, oh, maybe you're right, Nai. What was I thinking of? And you start going in the other avenue. And the package arrives and you're not home. And then he goes, what do people that send packages do if the person is not home? They return the package. So you have to stay on Faith Avenue no matter how long it takes. Same thing with our choices. Same thing with on purpose choosing. Same thing if we value, if our trust and value are aligned together with integrity and character, with is it truly what we desire, or is it our family or a best friend, or you saw it on a commercial? These things take thought, a little bit of journaling. I have one. I'm supposed to write in it the other day, but I'm having a hard time which one to choose. But one of the things that I heard over a social media was your goal. I think it was from Miles Monroe. One of the goals you have is that is success. That I think, how did he say it? Your target, your purpose is to be successful. That's how he said it, I think. Your power, your life, fueled by power, energy, ourselves at the minute level are just swirling with energy. And once you think a thought, a doubt or something forms. So something about the uh, things. But this particular journal has in it like my wish list. It's sort of a guide on how to um, to get a fulfilled life. It says, but that's this journal, or one that is blank initially, because the next 6 months, the rest of the year, what is the rest of the year by the end of the year going to look like? I would like to see some things in my life that I say I actually put that on my board, and it did it does it come true? Does it really come true? Those things I question a lot, and so I haven't been really doing vision boards. But Steve Harvey was saying you need this is what successful people do. I am introverted and very shy about my inner longings and stuff, so I tend to not do them, because one of the things that I was raised with is don't be selfish. Work together with your family and do for the community, not self. And so when I heard you choose, so I've been doing a lot of choices because that's where I am. You, you choose, God says. Not what the community chooses, not what the parent chooses, not what the family chooses. You choose. Because you know, your heart is in the right place already. Your family will be included. Your community will be included. They will not get lost. You will not lose. There is no loss. The foundation has to be one from abundance. For abundance to arrive at your doorstep, you need to believe that you get to choose, that you can have all that you dream. And when you do have, you're not going to lose your family. You're not going to leave them by the wayside. That is some of the things that uh, I got the bias. It may not have been the intention, but if I don't choose that, I may lose that. But that's not true, because in your heart, you know your heart. you will gain a truth. As you journey towards the direction of your dreams, you'll learn things that about yourself. So, learning to choose is a first step. Learning to trust again. God, what do you think? Am I going the right way? Am I doing the right thing? And then you don't hear. And sometimes, if you're going the wrong direction, you will hear something. Maybe you're going the right direction and you just need to take one little step at a time and keep seeking God in your life. Okay, God, I am going this direction. If you're going the wrong path, He'll let you know. So have faith that God is for you and that your goal for you, His goal for you is success. Jeremiah 29 says, good success. His plan for you is to have good success. So that should be your goal. What am I going to be successful at? What will enthuse me that is, I will be happy with my success at? Pardon me. Sorry about that. So, a lot of what I wrote on my pink red sheet involves a lot of trade offs. And what is the medium nowadays? Cash. Working someplace for an income. I don't see working what I wrote on here means to that I will have to do something out of my comfort zone. And so I stress, anxiety, I start coughing. What is it that is my innermost fear? That I am selfish, that I don't know anything, I don't have an education. I probably will fall flat on my face more than once, and I will have to redo more than once, and nobody will. Dreams. I taught myself that I can actually write a book, publish it, and so I did. And so now I have to keep that up because I love to write my thoughts. I don't like to journal, and I don't like to create outlines or structure, but that'll be my next goal. I'm so uncomfortable doing that because I always have this mindset of I don't have time to do preparation. So my goal to get all this one of the first things, a step, is to set a goal. An action step. So for the next 6 months, I'll be preparing, uh, I guess, like uh, I like to say, pastor. He works on his sermon and he outlines on all the pinpoints and stuff, probably a speech. But what I would like to do is when I have learned what works for me next week, how I did it, what thought patterns I did, and what purpose. And I have so many procrastination tools. I'll show crocheting, my best procrastination tool. One of my best things to keep myself busy. Start a project like crocheting. So that is one, and the other is organizing, getting things to take care of. I wanted to get a dog, and I said no because I won't be taking care of it. Really good pet person at all. So I went and got a couple of plants just to take my mind off for a bit and regulate myself again. One of the things that get us back on track is to take a breather. It's like stretching before you exercise, you prepare. I am not a great preparer. So, the first step that God says when you do anything is determine the cost before you start building it. Make the plan, determine the cost, and the time that it will take. So, on my next list on the back, I will be doing the first step goals. This is how uh, my choice, where it leads me on purpose. Indistractable. Apply that in my life. Know that willpower will not work. Create the environment. Put this where I will not see it and I will not want to grab it. Organize. To where you do the first thing first. Mary Kay had one that I loved. Make your list at evening and in the morning. Pardon me. Of 5 things. It was back then uh, 5 important things. And if you didn't mark off all those 5 things, you bring them to the next day and um, you do them in order. The most important, and the next, and the next, and the next. The most is 5, but for me, I'm going to start off with 3. because I'm learning, I have to take it in mini doses. So let's say it takes about 45 days for me to learn a habit, or anyone for that matter. So 45 days, that is all of June to create my habit of list in my goal setting and decide. There's that decision. How do you decide? You choose. And what do I choose right off the bat? We have to be healthy. Whole thing. Because if you're grieving, like you may have lost a loved one or gone through a divorce or moved, and my grandchildren are back up at Pacific Northwest and I'm down here in AZ, I gave myself some time to miss them. And I'm still a little sad from not seeing them. And so give yourself moments to adjust to where you're rest and you're not burning yourself out. That's my thing is I like to be comfortable. Another procrastinating thing. I heard that being comfortable will make you stagnant. You don't want to get out of your comfort zone. And one of the stimulants or motivating factor for you to actually start doing is the pain, whether the pain of loss or gain or any of that. Pain for some makes them choose. Before any of these stimulants come about, meditate and learn to choose from joy, from a place of rest. I love to walk in nature and see the outside sceneries wherever I am. We went out to a state park every weekend, almost every weekend, since we've been here, and I got this tan, beautiful tan. But it rejuvenates me to where I can be comfortable, learn the area, learn north, south, east, and west where those are, and see what's out there before. Give yourself time. I've learned that in James it says haste makes waste. Because if we're in a hurry to go through life, we missed most of it. We have to enjoy, have ourselves a cup of tea, coffee in my house. I have sweeteners, coffee. Mm. Have coffee. Sit down. It doesn't have to uh, do it in rest. Do it in a manner where it gives you joy, peace. Because if you don't have peace about the decisions that you're making, you're more apt to give up easily. You're more apt to say, forget it. I didn't want that anyways. So when you think, you have to have uh, I really want that. So go through the process. What do you really, really want? I'm still learning to I'm still learning to go through the process of what do you want? you, which is very personal, I understand. And choices in life are dictated by, if we're not careful, procrastination, busyness, crafts. I started this craft and I want to finish this Afghan or whatever. Rather than doing what is on my list, I created a little opportunity to feel good about myself, that know how to I know how to knit or crochet. I know how to make that and finish it and feel good. But that is not on my list. How am I learning to do something new at my age? I'm a grandma, 65. And how do I introduce it in my life? I create words right off the bat. Word, you know why word? Word creates life or death. Choosing creates life or death. Choose right off the bat. Choose life is what God says in Deuteronomy. So, what is the word that gives you life in your heart, in your day, in your life? If it's family, then you having things will free up time to spend time with them. So, what is your word? And the goal is 45 days, create a habit to list my goals, look at them daily. First, I decide and choose. Then, I create the list, create the purpose, create the goal, the dream. And then, first, by the first, remember five? I decided to do three. The most important. Out of all these dreams and goals, what is the one thing or 10 things to help you decide? Make a list of the 10 things that will help you get that means to transfer to acquire these. First of all, you have to think that it is possible. With God, all things are possible. You have to ask God for help right off the bat. God, help me with this. Is it the correct way? Is it? And He will let you know. Okay, create purpose and goal. I know this is kind of a rough drafting, but first you decide, you choose, create the purpose and the goal. Three most important on my list. Remember that five is the most that you make a list of. So in my habit learning to create the three most important and do them daily, to accomplish this. Home, mostly home, the gym, to be debt free, prayer. Prayer is something that is important. You have to pray for yourself and those things to come about, and you pray without ceasing. Prayer. Because after you decide and you ask God, you have truly, truly, is it true? Are you sure you're going to get it? It seems impossible, but you can. I've heard people say they made a list, their word, of all their heart's desires, and most of them got checked off. They had accomplished a lot of them. That is word. It is written in word somewhere. That is proven statistically that people, when they write them down, they have accomplished most of what they wrote down. So, mine is word. Make a list daily. Look at it. It has to be your own choice or it'll die off. Like, what does God say about seed time and harvest? You create the seed, which is your dream. You plant it, and let's say it's on rocky soil. It's uh, it's exciting for a week, and then after a week, on to the new that's on rocky soil. Make sure that your word is in good soil, nutritious wise, that you water it daily. So that's what I'll be doing. I know that I've said some things that it is hard for me to journal. I bought journals and I have yet to write in them. My daughter got me one and I did write in it because it was a gift. So I have to become comfortable in choosing myself. I have to go beyond the knowledge that I have that is selfish. I have to go beyond the knowledge that I have that I believe without a doubt that what when I choose something, it is not, if I'm not including other people, it's not healthy, it's not good. I have to go beyond all that to learn. That is my mindset training. Hence my 3 list. That's some deep thought for me. So, what is my 3 most important? So far, I've listed word. It has to be the truth. And it has to be joyful. Joy comes when it is your innermost heart desire. You get very excited and it stays. But if it's not truly yours, it is fleeting. It comes and goes. So, what do? You have to make a decision making ability a skill. Okay, that's one of the skills. First is prayer, decision making ability. That's 2. You have to pray all day, every day for it. You have to make decisions for or against. You have to learn what is for or what is against that decision that you made. 3, your goal is to succeed. How does success look like? What is the outcome? Mine is written on these. That looks like a lot of income. What is a lot of income? Let's go back to word. What is truth and what is joyful? What is it is called value, quality, enjoyable. Well, that's joyful. Value and quality. Is it like my nails? I went and got them because they're attractive. It is frivolous. And for me, I have to learn to choose excellence. It's, is a it becomes your habit and it naturally the outcome is success. Excellence leads to success. Excellence training then is definition by word. What is truth to you, not somebody else's choices. This is about choices now. Does it bring you joy? Is it valuable? Value just means, are you trading time, which is money, for the outcome? Are you willing to invest? That's a cute word for a lot of people. Excellence then is investing. When you pursue excellence, you learn the value of investing and it goes back to you. First thing then, to get decision making ability down pat, you have to learn to choose you. You in all your failures, all your successes, all your likes and dislikes, and not what somebody thinks is good on you or anything. It takes a lot of thought, quiet time. Yes, you have to make time for yourself. The investment is worth the outcome. What is the outcome? You decide. You get to choose. Not the job. I gotta have a job. Well, how many jobs are there? I'm living in an area where there's a lot of manufacturing in my area. And a lot of commerce on my street down the road, both sides. Not a lot of residents per se, a lot of commerce on this side. So, what is commerce? It is value based, quality, it's attractive, and it brings excellence to the marketplace. Because if you, if the longevity of your product that you wish to invest in, which is yourself, you have to create ideas that bring quality into your life, that bring value into your life, that bring joy, that bring truth and word. The way that you can do that is through meditation, through quiet times, and talking with God. Finding out who you are is the biggest secret to success. Truly who you are. Meaning, I have a great crochet hobby. When I'm under a lot of stress and I'm moving, it it is good for me to crochet, calm down, and I can't go any place. It helps me to take a breather. But not now when the next 6 months I have to delineate. So again, choosing in life, that is something we get to do on a daily basis all day long. Simple yet hard to do when we make decisions based on fear of loss or gain. I'm afraid that I will lose this, so I gotta do this. That is a decision. What if we decide on purpose and then we go for it? What is the cost? The value comes in. What am I willing to give up? Is it giving up? No. You have to remember, create word that will introduce to your heart abilities to go the long run. They have to be words of abundance. They have to be words of joy, harmony, peace. What I mean by is this is when choosing the daily goals and list, make prosperity the foundation. What is it? The outcome takes a prosperous soul as your soul prospers. What does it say? Brethren, above all things, I wish you riches, success, prosperity, soul prospers. So your soul, you're writing to it. The foundation then has to be on the basis of truth, the integrity of it, and abundance. In order for you to move forward in life, not decision making of fear of loss, fear of lack, fear of no time, no, you know, not, and losing family, my thing. Fear of those things will keep you from making your goal list, making your dream list. Yes, the choice is yours, but sometimes we procrastinate, crochet, read, fill our lives with many things so that we're one of the biggest, your time on your phone scrolling. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being with me in my journey for my goal planning for the next 6 months. I know that you've been with me in choosing, and I would love to thank you for spending a moment with me, learning the value of who you are and who you are in Christ takes a lot of time, prayer, and talking with God. So, thank you for allowing me a little bit of time to discuss my effort in the next quarter for the outcome that I would like to see. It is really outrageous. But if I gain just a portion of gaining some of the stuff that I wrote down towards that, it will be, what is a word? It'll be worth the investment. It will show your heart. Love, love your neighbor as you love yourself. We sometimes get who we are in our busyness, being a mother, being a teacher, being a parent, being a supervisor, being a cashier, being a waitress, anything in life, being a pilot, student, study, that are our little likes and dislikes, who we are, does take time of meditation, even if it is 5 minutes, 15 minutes in the morning. Study. Bring the importance of God's purpose in your life into prominence by talking, writing, discussing with God in your prayer life. Lord, then in this life, may your word abound towards me, through me, to others, that it may be a testimony to speak well of my Father and glorify you, God. These things are words that draw a picture of your heart's desire. And so your prayer life is this: whatever it may be, may God bless you abundantly. And he says, whatever your hands touch, I will cause them to succeed. It says that in the Bible. So write with your hand. I will be learning. I'll be setting up my computer this week. I want to learn to do a digital filing in my next study. I would like to do in my internet creating stuff. So that'll be my study also. It's fun to endeavor to create opportunity for yourself to think in ways, catch up, and all these things. Creating life of your choice. Sometimes like coloring your home, your the walls. It's been white all this time. I like white. But anyways, thanks again. Now to find out where my end live is. Have a good night, guys. See you next week. Thank you for an hour. Have a good night.